Okay, well, thank you for having me. I'm really thrilled to be here, and this turnout is incredible. So it is fantastic to see 600 people wanting to learn the nitty-grittiest code ever. No, a little, tiny bit of code, little bit of code. I want to walk through and show you some of the enhancements that have been happening with HTML5 and CSS3. They've been getting a lot of play out in the field. And in the handouts, I have a URL, codifieddesign.com/go/how. Up on that site, that URL is going to bring you to this page. And there's a whole bunch of free stuff on this page. Templates you can download that are going to be some of the things I'm going to be showing you today. Online tools, which will help you create CSS3 stuff, gradients, drop shadows, all kinds of things you can do without any code. A bunch of templates you can download from the Adobe website. And then also, I have a track on lynda.com that is step-by-step building HTML, CSS, and jQuery, which is a form of JavaScript, step-by-step. And if you use this link on this site, if you don't have a lynda.com account, you can sign up for a free 7-day trial and watch as much as you can inside of a week's time. So the things I'm going to show you today, you can go and take these courses for free. It does start at the second you put in your email address, so wait till it's midday on a Friday and then say, okay, I'm ready. And then hit go and watch as many courses as you want. And then there's more stuff here as well, and you'll see some of this in your handout as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some code. I'm going to show you some HTML. We're going to look at how this stuff renders in a browser. And one of the things that we come across in our country, and one of the things we've written books about and so forth, is this gap that we see in the design workflow. It is the gap between interaction design and development. And what happens in a typical agency, and we see this with all the agencies we work with around the world, is the designers will sort of work over in a corner. Hopefully you're going to collaborate, if you listened to all the people earlier today. Come up with your interaction design, and then when it's all ready, you kind of do it in Illustrator or Quark or InDesign or whatever tool, kind of package it up, zip it into a file, and you just hurl it over this fence and just wait for the developers. 6, 7 weeks comes back. They send you an email to a link, and it looks nothing like what you specified. You did all this nice stuff in Photoshop and Illustrator, and it just didn't look like what you wanted it to look like. So it is my belief that if you're a web designer, you do HTML and CSS. They are the presentation layer of the web. So I liken it to print design. How many people here who do print design would feel comfortable taking your Illustrator files and Photoshop files, giving it to the printer in the pre-pressman, and have them do the Quark Express and InDesign work? Not one hand. That's the presentation layer. Your design and idea, that concept that you're putting together, has to get to the plate, has to be printed, has to be the right set of spot colors. You can use RGB if your printer does an RGB workflow. It's got a die cut. All these things that you do for print, it is your responsibility to get it to film and get it to the plate. At that point, you can say, the pressman didn't fold it right and all the other things. But that's where your responsibility goes to.